Hello, happy Thanksgiving. It's the 24th of November. We've got James and Sarah from the Trekking Tailors on. We'll be talking Run Alton Towers, Walt Disney World. Did you know Disneyland do their own running event? And also we'll be answering your questions in the live chat. So let's chat and all that.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means.
And a happy Thanksgiving. And that's going to be relevant today because we're speaking to some connoisseurs of Walt Disney World. And I'm going to get straight into it because there's not much park news this week. I'm going to bring it to you next week, all in one big compact form because there's a lot of stuff going on that's not been revealed yet that I know is coming out next week. But without further ado, we've got Sarah and James, the Trekking Tailors. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Mick. Hi, Stacey. We're good, thanks. How are you two?
Yeah, we're good, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Before I get into Run Alton Towers and all that stuff, do you want to tell us how your channel started?
Yeah, so this channel started this year, a couple of months ago. So basically, a couple of years ago, I had a gimbal and I was just messing about and I was doing my own little things on holiday, to which I just get shouted at by Sarah and our daughter Evangeline saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And prior to that, we had a friend who was doing some gym stuff. So I kind of started to get interested about 4 years ago when this guy was messing about videoing us doing challenges at the gym. Then I thought, oh, it'd be interesting just to try and start doing some. So I started doing it by myself, and then the pandemic hit. And then this year, you became more interested in doing, didn't you? So basically, we kind of thought, let's give it another go. And that's how it came. And the Trekking Tailors, which took ages to come up with, the Trekking Tailors was born. So
what were some of the other names? Did you have any other names that you were thinking about?
I can't. We were always trying to include the surname Tailors on there. I can't really remember what they were now, were they? Because
Tailor Tours.
Tailor Tours, yeah. I mean,
anything alliterative.
If you can come up with something more suggestive, then because the Trekking Tailors is a mouthful for me because it's kind of like a bit of a tongue twister. If you say, if you get drunk and start to say it enough, then it definitely does get a bit of a tongue twister.
So when did well, I'm more speaking to Sarah here, but when did you first come across the Run Alton Towers event? Like when you came across that, you knew it existed before you applied for it?
I saw it last year. And I wasn't in a fit enough state to do anything about it, suffering from injuries and things. So I thought, I'll do that next year. I'll train for it. I'll do the half marathon. Never got around to training for it. So I just happened to glance at it kind of a week before and thought, I bet I could do the 5K. And did a training kind of walk run on the treadmill and managed to keep it within a reasonable time, and just thought, the Thursday before, I'll just sign up. So that's what I did.
So you didn't actually sign up till the week of?
No, it was like the week out. Yeah, it was like 3 days before. I just thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'll walk it all the way around.
So was James tempted to do it any time? Because James is in very good shape.
No, James is more injured than me.
Yeah, I used to run, but not do anything like that. I used to run just to help out with other stuff that I used to do. But because age is now creeping up on me quite a bit, at the moment I've got Achilles tendonitis in both ankles. So when it happens, I can't even walk on there. But I must admit, Sarah's kind of done CrossFit and the running. I just put one foot in front of the other when I'm running. I just think I'm bored. And I know that's, running's for whoever wants to do it. It's great. It just isn't for me on there. I've done the 5K at the Run Disney with you, didn't I?
5K and the 10K.
Yeah, but that was more just because we were doing it as a family as opposed to it's something that I wanted to do type of thing.
And it's entertaining.
So, both of them were entertaining, weren't they? But from a pure running point of view, it's just not for me.
Are you more like strength training rather than like cardio?
Yeah, so strength,
Sort of
boxing,
thing,
MMA, that type of stuff. Not very good at it, but that's the stuff that I enjoy.
No. If it gets your heart pumping, that's the main thing. Because
So,
I'm like a bit with weights, so but hopefully going to try cardio.
Do we want to talk about the? Since you've mentioned it, I was going to mention it later on. Do we want to talk about the Disney Run event and comparisons between them? Which Disney park was it at?
So Disneyland Paris. These were both at the Disneyland Paris. So is that the 5K, I think.
10K. I've got 10K written.
Oh, 10K on it.
Got 10K on his shirt, so I thought it was the 10K.
So I started the Disneyland Paris runs in 2017. I did the first one, and I did the 10K, and it was so much fun, and it was just so entertaining, and the course was amazing, and you went backstage, and the cast members were all cheering, and you got character stops. You could stop for photos with characters. Now I never stopped for the photos with the characters because I'm too slow. So I'd have been kicked out because they have a strict 16-minute per mile pace that you have to keep, because you do it very early in the morning before the park opens, which I think is where Alton Towers could learn a few things. So you start kind of at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So you've got to be off the park by the time the park opens. So they keep this strict 16-minute per mile. So because I'm a very slow runner, I can't stop for character photos. Otherwise I'll get swept and get kicked off.
They're
quite a good
market, don't they, at the end? And if this person goes past you and you can't keep up with them, then basically you get retired.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they're called the balloon ladies. So basically, it's normally women. It can be men, but it's normally women. And they just run with the helium balloons. And if they pass you, you're going to be swept. You need to keep up with them, or you're going to be swept. So,
Do you know what though? I think that's quite a good motivator, because it'd be like, I want to get a picture with this character.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So is it just?
Sorry, I did the 10K in 2017, and then I thought I need a challenge. So I did the 36K challenge.
Oh,
Which
wow.
is basically Friday night you do a 5K, Saturday morning you do a 10K, Sunday morning you do a half marathon, and that qualifies you for the 36K. So instead of 3 medals, you get 5 medals, 5 t-shirts. I mean, it's all about the bling.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So was that at the studios? Was it just at the studios park? Or was it at both?
It runs through both parks. So because the parks are very close together, it runs through both parks. So you go in and out of both parks. You run through the castle with nobody else there. Get some amazing pictures through there. It's just an amazing run, and I'm so sad that they haven't brought it back.
Oh, they've retired it, have they?
It's since COVID, obviously, it got cancelled. And they just haven't brought it back. Disney have been quite slow at bringing races back. Paris, I think, are having some kind of row with the local prefecture departments. So the half, because it's a half marathon, they have to run outside of Disney. So you start in Disney and you finish in Disney, but you run through the local villages as well. And I think they're having some kind of row with the local department. So at the minute, all they could do is probably a 10K. So Disney Paris weekends are not there at the minute, but I'm hoping they'll bring them back soon.
You've been hoping to try and do a Disney World one.
I would love to do a Disney World one, because Disney World do an extreme. It is on my bucket list. It's called the Dopey Challenge. So for Disney Marathon weekend, theirs is a 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon in one weekend.
That is awesome.
So we talk about.
That's amazing.
You mentioned bling. Then have you got any of your bling?
I have.
And thanks, Theme Park World Tour.
Yeah.
So this is the they are fantastic bling as well. This is the half marathon medal.
That puts the Run Alton Towers one to shame.
Oh, that is brilliant.
It's
I
really,
actually want to have a go at these ones now. I don't want to have a go at
Have you done the Thorpe Park one? Briefly.
No. This one is the 36K challenge one. This one has moving parts.
Is that the dragon from the parade that breathes fire?
Yeah.
And at night you can't see, but the eye is like
glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really good medals. But if you can't get there, then they also Disney do virtual runs, and their medals are nearly as good. So you can sign up and do a virtual run. This was just a 5K one. And look at the bling you get.
I know.
Running for me is all about the bling.
I really want to sign up just to go for the virtual ones actually now and be like, yes.
Just noticed again, theme park. Will Talk just said, unfit. Thing is with all of these is the Alton Towers one, for example, it's a walk run. So you do what you can, and if you need to walk, you can walk. With the Disney one, you can also walk, but you just got those balloon ladies that you have to obviously be aware of.
If you can walk fast, you can keep to the 16-minute per mile pace. If you can walk fast.
And there's no.
There you go. Compare. Oh, can I get them on? Compare the two.
That's awesome.
That's the Alton Towers one. That's the Disney one.
Oh, there's just so much detail though with Disney, though, isn't it? It's just so good.
But the Alton Towers one was a very good race, I thought.
I think you're right about they should have started earlier though, because I also think they should have done 5 and 10K on the same day, and then the half marathon the other day. It seemed really odd.
I said that because on the there was 2 criticisms. I thought is that by the time it had finished, and we were eating lunch in Woodcutters, but there were still runners on the course. So it was
it was us.
Runners on the course, and I felt really, really sorry for them because they're the back of the pack. Half marathon.
Doing it, weren't they?
They were still doing it and still trying it, and yet they're having to weave then in between, everybody else. And I just think that's a shame that they're not getting the full race experience. Really.
Thanks, Ginger and Brown. Appreciate that.
So that was one criticism, and the other one was that because you again got half marathon people on one course and 5K on the other course, and sometimes they would cross. So you got the marshals and people going stay to the left, stay to the left, stay to the left. And then suddenly the 5K course would swap to the right and the half marathons would go to the left. So you're crossing over like that. And people, not many people, but there were some quite aggressive.
Yeah, the professional ones.
Yeah. We were stood, obviously Sarah did the run, and myself and our daughter was stood at the junction where the 5Ks would go to the right to finish the 5K. And the half marathons would go to the left, and it was entertaining for spectators because there were so many people either going the wrong way or slamming into each other. Because literally, the stewards they were okay, but there was a couple at the side who weren't actually saying anything. And I think in the end, others went up and said, "You need to start shouting on there." But it was slightly entertaining, especially for the poor people who went the wrong way and then realised they'd gone the wrong way and came sprinting back to do the 5K finish.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So they actually went the wrong way.
Yeah. Some of the 5Ks went on the way to the half marathon, then came back. And some of the half marathon people went down and then had to turn around and come back. So it was a bit of a mix up. It wasn't great. They should have had better signage and more stewards as they were coming to this junction saying, half marathon go left, 5K go right.
I think, to be honest, that could be swapped by just putting the 5K and the 10K on the same day, and then the 10K just do 2 laps of the 5K.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I also thought the stewards didn't seem like they were actual. It sounds bad me saying this, but I don't know if this is true. They seem like they just hired bodies to be there and said, kind of do this job. They weren't official stewards that had stewarded somewhere else potentially.
No, I think they advertised on the Run site, because I have had a look. That you get a ticket if you volunteer for the day. So have any prior knowledge, you can just go and volunteer and get a ticket for the day. So
if Sarah told me that, I could have volunteered. I would have gone, still spectated. As long as I get me cake and me coffee, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Did you want to tell us about? I've not got photos of it, but in your vlog you go through essentially like the swag bag where you got some free stuff from the sponsors and things like that.
Yeah, it's fairly standard stuff, wasn't it? So bottle of water, random kind of craft non-alcoholic beer that I just didn't really understand. It's not.
What really about the alkaline water?
Yeah. The alkaline water is nice.
You actually said you could taste the difference as well, didn't you?
It's nice.
On there, and it wasn't from Sainsbury's. Taste the difference, was it?
No. And then some vegan.
I remember on yours, on your blog, that was it Richard? Yeah. He was looking at that vegan corn thing as well. And he had the same reaction as what I had. He's like,
what about the bounce? Can you describe what bounce was? Because Lee couldn't do it in our vlog. He had it, but he couldn't describe it.
What was that? The ball?
Oh,
Yeah.
Was that a
I
protein
don't
ball?
think I've eaten it yet. I think it's still in the cupboard.
No, it's
will
not
probably-
in the
oh, is it
cupboard.
not? Have you eaten it?
I've been there.
Oh, okay, perhaps James will explain it.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, it was just like a protein ball with a peanut or peanut butter type taste on there. It was okay. It wasn't anything special. I wouldn't actually go buy one, but as someone gave it to me, I'd eat it. But I usually eat anything these days. Just keep it going.
So would you want to talk about the challenge next, since we're on Alton Towers?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, I've put the link. I've put a few of your links, including your channel and some of your vlogs, in the description.
Yeah.
I've put the link for the vlog. I can't remember. I came across your channel, and then I think I saw you were doing. It might have been before the Thursday, though. I can't remember how far in advance I got in touch, but I kind of went, "We're going on the Saturday," and I knew the queues would be shorter, so I just went, "Do you fancy seeing who can ride the most different rides?"
Yeah.
I'd kick him.
Oh, I was gutted. I'm so competitive. I was gutted.
Oh, we got in trouble from Adventure Bears because they watched our vlog and said the sky ride doesn't count.
No, it does. It does count. It does count. It was just shut by the time we wanted to use it because it was dark. So,
Yeah.
and if you'd done the monorail as well, that would have counted.
And obviously, because you went on the rapids, didn't you? That was drained on a Sunday.
The time we got to it was drained. It was
So
shut.
I must admit, I thought that had been drained for the weekend as well, but you got on that. But the one that we didn't go on, we should have gone on, was, I know it's the frog hopper.
Yeah, the Peter Rabbit
The
hippity
Peter
hop.
Rabbit one.
Oh, we went on that. That was
Yeah,
brilliant.
Because we were there, we were walking past it.
We
And
thought you'd do the one in World of Williams, because we didn't do it, and we thought, is that going to cost us?
Which one was that? Sorry.
Because we did the flamenco one. You did that.
We did the
Yeah.
We did
Flappio's Fandango
Yeah,
one.
Gangster Granny.
We did Gangster Granny.
Yeah.
We didn't do the frog hopper one.
No.
No, we didn't.
We did the carousel.
On there, and obviously we both had the same idea. We both went and did CBeebies rides, didn't we?
Yeah, I got those out of the way. You had a queue for Smiler, though, did you? Did you have more of a
Yeah.
queue than us?
Yeah, because by the time everything started open, because there were so many runners still on the course, CBeebies didn't open on time. So we were going to start in CBeebies, couldn't do it because there were still runners going through. So we said, right, we'll go up to X Sector. And because obviously there was only Smiler and Oblivion open at that point, it was like 35-minute queues. So we did Smiler, and then we just said, we'll just leave Oblivion for now and come back to it.
Oh, we did Smile, and then we went to the woodcutters because
Yeah.
I was hungry. I was like,
Yeah.
we need a break. I need to eat.
You need to do some
be
food
fair-
reviews on your channel, because
He doesn't care what food it is, though. This is the thing.
Yeah.
he seems quite a foodie kind of guy. And I'm quite
Yeah.
surprised, because you say we have to stop for, and if you see the videos, we'll talk about Chester Zoo, but you had a donut. Was it a donut or a cake?
Yeah.
Thing there?
Yeah,
But you're in such good shape. That's what I was surprised by when you said
Well,
he was
that's-
like a real foodie and everything.
yeah. Because I mean, I try and eat about 6 times a day at the moment. So effectively, that's all that I'm a foodie for, just to make sure I'm eating calories on there. As you know, it's like that protein ball that we've just been talking about. It doesn't taste great, but I just go past it. It's like whatever, get it in.
But yeah, because Coast Chicken said that. I was the same, because when we were there, we thought we'd missed out Rita and we missed out Spinball because it closed.
I kept going bonkers. I kept running on ahead going, Mike, there's one there. That's
Oh,
the
and
right.
then
That's the
Postman
right.
Pat.
We're going on this one. And then
Postman
I kept
Pat
going, and
closed.
Mike's like, wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Postman Pat closed, and then it was just like, oh, they're going to beat us, aren't they? Because we thought every row would be open the next day, and you just go one to the other to the other.
I think
Well, we
for
were
me, it was
looking
like,
at-
because I'd seen people running, it was like, I want to make up for the people running. I want to run to get to the most rides.
We were looking at obviously how many you were doing, and also how long your video still had to go. And we were kind of going, Omar, like
See,
15,
I think you got to like
16.
15, 16, and Jay's like, just pause it. There's the 10 minutes left. The game beats us.
Well, I genuinely thought we were going to get into the 20s easily.
I was hoping to. Well, I would have done
Yeah.
if we got on Postman Pat.
Oh,
I must admit, we were pleased with what we did, because once
Yeah, because
the queues were crap.
I
weren't
thought
they,
it was
beginning?
actually quite a lot busier than I was expecting it to be initially. For
Yeah.
the first 2.5 hours, it was not. I've been in it in the day, in a school day, and it's been far quieter than that. Time it went to like 3:30. Everybody had gone, and it was amazing from then. But the first few hours it was open, I wasn't that impressed with the queue lengths because like
Yeah.
yourselves, everybody had said, oh, it's really, really quiet, and everything else. But the first few hours were quite not busy because it wasn't busy, but half an hour, 20-minute queues, you know, things like that.
Which for towers would be great, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
for what we were hoping wasn't great.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, when you think we got on 17 rides on there at towers, that's incredible. So when you got on 19 on there, just like that's not a bad count for us both, is it? For a towers day.
Just reading Theme Park Wheels Tours comments as well. Did you say about the Apple Watch going off and calling the emergency services on Oblivion? So when it came into the station and it breaks, I must have just banged my arm against it, and it recognised the collision. It set the collision thing off, and it actually called the emergency services, sent text to
Oh my word!
contacts to say, I've called the emergency services. I was panicking. I was like, oh, quick, cancel.
Do you know what that'd be? I don't know. I've got a Fitbit, so I think it'll be quite interesting.
I'm surprised
But I
they've
don't know
not
if that'll
updated
track
that
it on
because
the
that's happened
thing.
so much in America as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to let you know as well, I think Coaster Chicken went for the Sunday as well. The 5K,
Oh, right.
Yeah, you did,
5K, yeah. And I
Coaster
think
Hen.
Coaster Hen, I don't know if she took part or not. I'm not too sure. But obviously, they'll probably say it was quite quiet. But there you go.
I mean, towards the back end of the afternoon, it was virtually deserted.
Yeah, that's
wasn't
where
it?
you got most of yours up because I was watching
Yeah.
the vlog and I thought we've got them here, and it went on and I'm like, oh no, they're just bashing them out real quick.
Me and Rita at the end of the day, it was just us.
That
There
was
nobody
awesome.
else on it. It was just us.
Yeah.
Had your own private ride.
Literally there was nobody in the queue, and so I walked up to the staff and I just said, "Can we come up here?" They went, "No, go round and walk around." It's like, really? So we walked round. That added a few minutes onto it, didn't it? But we were.
And that's what cost you in the end.
I'm saying that. Yeah, I'm saying Rita walking round. Obviously, the
Those
sky ride.
selfish half marathon is not running fast enough.
Yeah, the sky ride being closed and the rapids having no water. They're definitely the ones that cost us.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with having several food stocks.
Did you get any rides to yourself?
Yeah, Rita.
Just
Rita was completely ours. Wicker Man was walk on. It wasn't to ourselves, but it was walk on. And literally, the only time we got delayed was for the pre-show at Wicker Man, wasn't it?
Yeah, Galactica was walk on as well.
Yeah. But Wicker Man in the dark was just awesome.
It's almost worth going just for that because it's so busy and fireworks to do for that.
Yeah.
But it was a good day. I mean, the challenge was really fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that, but going back to the Run Alton Towers part, we said be there by about 7:30, didn't it?
Yeah, it said be there between 7:30 and 8.
And it was just not needed at all because you didn't actually start running until 10:20, did you?
No.
On there, so it's kind of like they could have either started it early, like we've all said earlier, or
when did you start before the half marathon, or did they start before you?
No, half marathon started first, and they start them in waves. So they start them depending on what you think your finish time will be. So I think the first wave for the half marathon was like 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So they went, anybody who thinks they're going to finish in that, go now. And then it kept going up in 5 minutes increments. And then they got to the 5K and they were like, oh, we'll laugh at this one. Who's going to do it in 15 minutes? And you know, some people went.
Yeah, some people did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they were just stunning. They were because we were watching all the 5Kers go and whatever. And it took a while for them all to go. And literally, as the last people started to go, you suddenly realise there were some people coming round to finish the 5K. And it's just like that's amazing.
Yeah.
On there, and they just absolutely pelted.
I think some of the 5K people that were being quite aggressive because obviously they're sprinting, whereas the half marathoners are pacing themselves. For me, it's not a race where you go and try and achieve a PB. It's a fun thing. You should just go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
it's insane terrain as well.
So again,
it's insane terrain as well compared to like other places you do runs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Obviously, Sarah's on about not being competitive then about the 5K. As soon as she got on the ride, she was desperate to beat you.
Would you do the 10K next?
Well, I've signed up next year because there's no Disney Paris races, so I'm doing the 10K and the half.
Oh, you're awesome! That's all I
I've said that I've got to do it. I've got to train for it. So
Honestly, I'm inspired. I really want to do like a 10K, but I've no idea how to run. So,
why don't
well, I
you,
do, but
why don't you? You know, whoever else is watching Theme Park World or whatever, why don't you all try and say, let's make a pact? You know, let's make sure that for the 5K, the people that are on here saying I want to, all run together. You know, at least say, right, that's the target next year. People do the 5K together on that. So at least then you're trying to encourage each other, and you've got a reason.
And there was lots of people walking as well. So don't let it put you off, because you can walk and run. It's not an issue at all. Nobody's going to shout at you because you have to walk up the hill.
See, that's what puts me off is the hills, because I've got weird knees anyway. But I have to walk up the hill. I can't run up the hill, otherwise my knees get, and that's it. But
I think most people are walking up the hill. So
Coaster Hen's just walked it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Coaster Hen. Yeah. Honestly, though, like I can't explain. Like, 2023 definitely. I'm seriously up for
both
it.
days.
Honestly, I wish I could do both days. I don't know how my energy levels would cope, but
I want to get one of those big megaphones and get behind there and go run.
Yeah.
Be like a military trainer.
You know where
or the whistle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to do it, and it's just honestly, there's some people that have done it for good causes as well. So honestly, well done. Like everyone's just such a good inspiration. I got so proud that I was like, I'm spectating, but I love you all, and you're all brilliant. And that's why I ended up doing that photo with trying to tag as many people as possible and just get that more community feel. Then it'll motivate me as well, obviously. But
and the crowd were great.
Feel of it.
The crowd were shouting and cheering, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Where you were in the pack, they were all shouting and cheering you on. So it was lovely.
My hands were so red from clapping. I clapped every single person that came through on the 10K.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was good atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yes, I thoroughly recommend it to anyone, regardless what your level of fitness is. You know, you can do it.
I just saw the comment from Coaster Hen there about hating every second. I'm with you there about, like I said, first foot in front running. I'm thinking, oh my life, why am I doing this?
Yeah, and I have got headphones on, and I do, because I run better with music on anyway. But I ended up turning it right down because the atmosphere was just great, so didn't need headphones.
I think to be fair, when you'd always had these runners towards the end that suddenly picked up the pace a lot quicker to run towards the end, and I just remember clapping even faster to go in line with what their pace was. So I was like, "Aye," and then everyone else started joining in, and it was, it was.
Weren't you tempted, Stacey, to clap even faster, see if you could make them run faster then? All of a sudden?
That's what I thought. I bet he probably thought I was trying to do it to go move. But I just went ooh, and to go.
So Walking with the Woods has said they slept in and missed the race. Were you actually meant to do the race then, Walking with the Woods?
I think they had their little one was poorly.
Spoiler alert. I think.
So I hope they're well now, by the way. So
I think he's going to tell us a bit about that potentially next week. There's a bit of a story behind that.
Right. So we'll listen.
We'll leave that one then.
We'll leave that one. Into that one.
But what I was going to do is quickly, in case Ginger and Brown are watching, do we want to mention Dimmingsdale quickly? Because last week, I can't remember if it was on my show or his, because we went on theirs on the Friday, but he kept going on about Dimmingsdale, and he was explaining it as if it was a lot closer to the park than it. I mean, it is quite close.
It is.
But he made me think it was like you're just looking through a fence, Alton Towers, when really you're looking from like quite far away.
So I walk the dog in Dimmingsdale at least once a week, and the path, which is the old railway track, it borders the Alton Towers fences. So if you hop the fence, you can actually get into Alton Towers that way. It's so close that you can hear them screaming on Oblivion. You can hear them screaming on Nemesis. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely place to walk.
You've got the chained oak there.
And you've got the chained oak there to go and have a look at. It's really not far from Alton Towers at all. It really isn't.
No, it's a lovely place to go and walk, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is it the Poacher's Cottage?
No, the Ramblers Retreat.
Ramblers Retreat, that was it.
Again, we're back to food.
Back to food. So that's always worth why I go, as long as there's a stop at the Ramblers Retreat on there.
Oh, and also if you go along the railway track, it's all flat. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So did you say Ginger and Brown were there the other week?
Yeah, and I've been there before, but I didn't know it was called Dimmingsdale because I've been there when I've been to see the Chained Oak.
Yeah.
As well, but prior to your blogging.
Which Chained Oak is in a very sorry state now. It's
we went a few years ago and we missed it, and then someone went, no, it's that tree there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got like it's got the the trunk.
Yeah.
It's got the trunk and about one branch.
There's like a big sheet metal building behind it now, whereas the first time I did it, there wasn't, so it kind of looked better, the skyline and stuff. But
it looked quite.
What amazed me that I didn't realise until I came back from doing that video was I'd researched things a bit more, and the stone steps that go up to the Chained Oak, they dated them, and they are over 800 years old. They were there before the chains were on the oak, and the chains on the oak are also from about that time. They've dated them, and they're from about that time. So that's kind of all true. I'm not saying that the legend is true, but somebody put the chains there.
Yeah, and yes, the Chained Oak does still have chains on it, albeit there's a lot less now, isn't there?
Yeah.
On there.
Yeah.
And
I think people have stolen them, because of the story and everything.
Yeah.
I think that's helped.
Well, yeah, lovely place. And you're right, there did used to be a public footpath through there.
Did you go up it?
Didn't know, but there did used to be a public footpath through there.
Theme Park World Tour. I'll have to try and come up this way and then go and have a look at it one
London
day as well. Like all of us go together and have a look at it, because some people have not everybody that's actually seen it, to be honest. But so it'd be quite good to do like a little meet up there.
It's like 5-minute walk from 5-minute drive from the towers.
Yeah.
So if you park at the Ramblers Retreat, it's
that's the best part.
And then we'll all have a drink and food at Ramblers Retreat. I'd love that.
Ramblers Retreat actually.
Happy
you can go in there then. I wasn't sure if that was just.
Yeah, you can go in there. It was one of a pair of coach houses for the Earls of Shrewsbury. So there's the one at the top, which is where the Chained Oak B&B is, and then the Ramblers Retreat is the second one, and the road up to it is the old carriageway.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Also, while we're talking about the legend, the tree that gets hit in the video for Hex is actually one of two. I can't remember which one it is. The trees in the actual car park for Alton Towers that are on the island.
Yes,
it's one of those two trees that they used in the film.
There's one where you've got like the fence, and then there's another fence that goes around the one tree, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which is where the extension, not the extension car park, but the I'm trying to think which one it is. It's the one where it's like the gravelly path, just as it's on your right hand side as you're walking towards.
I don't know if we're gonna get that.
Catania Canyon. You can hear it in the background as you go in there. It's that area.
I don't think it was that tree.
I
we'll find out. We'll get it
just
double checked. Yeah. But I just want to get across what I also thought was cool about this video. It's not Alton Towers related, but your dog's name was Ferris, and I instantly thought the film that I love Ferris because they are. And you later went on to say it was named after him, and I was like, oh, that's awesome.
See, we weren't sure about calling it Beulah, were we?
Yeah.
We were going to call him Beulah at one point. But then I just kept imagining myself constantly going Beulah. So you got named Ferris, and we've had one or two people when we walked the dog and shouting back actually say, "Is he named after it?" And it's like, yeah, he certainly is.
And then when he barks, woof woof.
Absolutely.
I would not actually go to the oak tree in the middle of the night. That would be
Breaking Trails has done that. I know Coach Chicken has said it, but I watched it as well. Breaking Trails went there with a Coach Chicken will tell me what it is, EMF thing.
Reader.
But I don't know how much I believe those. I'm kind of a bit skeptic about that kind of thing.
It's really eerie because I went in the middle of the day and it was like 10 o'clock and there was nobody else about. Normally in Dimmingsdale there's walkers and dog walkers and lots of other people, and there was literally nobody there at all, and it was quite eerie being on your own.
It was quite misty as well, wasn't it, when you went?
Yeah, so absolutely I would not go there.
See, for me, I would love to do something like that. And when we went Towers on the for the run, I was when you, because sunrise I just can't go on these days because I'm sick. So I actually went round the castle itself, and obviously normally there'd be there were blocked areas off, but for some reason it wasn't. So I thought, well, I will go and have a look. It was just awesome on there. And it's just the feeling of being isolated in that place would be great.
They do ghost tours.
They do, but
obviously
we've been on about mazes, haven't we, in the last few weeks and whatever. And I mean, I love that stuff, but the problem is I always know it's fake. Whereas you want to be really scared, really thinking is something, not necessarily physically jumping out at you, but just so you've got that feeling at the back of your head on where your hair's raised up, and you just think, I don't want to turn around. Same as what Sarah feels in the morning when she thinks, oh no, he's still here.
Ultimate sleepover. I've heard about that with
they
Alton
did it
Towers as well.
It was
over.
Is that the one? Yeah, in the ruins, and it was kind of like there was a story to it.
I just had this really cool idea where we could like meet up during the summer to go look at the chained oak, and then meet up during like the sort of like autumn winter time when it's like all the scare mazes going off, and then do the whole like EMF thing. I'm sorry.
I think some people aren't going to want to do it.
This, but
that sounds good. That does.
I am literally so up for it, and obviously go to the Ramblers. But it always ends there. And if we do get scared, we go to Ramblers Rest and we have a pint. There you go.
I'm telling you, I will be there like Blair Witch with beanie hat and snot.
Oh yes. But then obviously it's like if we meet up again in the autumn, it's not like we all meet and then we're all in the dark and we're all like and scare each other. It's just a case of we know each other.
Setting the rules. You're setting the rules now, are you?
And then they come to no, I'm just saying it'd be quite cool, but yeah. I'm up for that.
So the challenge is,
sit in the car.
the challenge is who stays there the longest then, isn't it? When it goes dark, who stays there the longest?
Yes,
that's
the challenge. That's the challenge. Who's not going to get freaked out?
Yeah, we go. We've got a name for it. We've got a name for the show.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It doesn't take much for me.
No.
What I want to talk about briefly is I didn't actually know before I got in touch with you. You've done some other challenges between yourselves on your channel. Yeah. And one of them was at Chester Zoo, but I got this photo because it looks a lot like Jungle Cruise. So did you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so I mean, it's basically part of the entrance fee, so you don't have to pay for this extra, which is always a plus point. And it's
15 minutes.
15 minutes. And you get in. It's just like you say, just a light Jungle Cruise a little bit, but there's no captain. And then you set off, and literally you're in complete silence. There's no narration or anything like that. You're just going through, and it's a really nice, relaxing 15 minutes. But they could do so much more with it, couldn't they? Even if they just put on, just look to the left. You should see these typically, or whatever. It just loses it as soon as you set off. For us, there's nothing there, is there?
No, because you go through like kind of the animal exhibits, so you're supposed to be able to see animals. And we did, didn't we? Yeah. But again, there's no description or anything on the boats at the top of the roof or anything for you at least to kind of see what they are, possibly that type of thing. But it's just missing that little bit of entertainment with it. That's all. Yeah, I think most kids would be thoroughly bored.
But you made entertainment because do you want to explain the challenge you set yourselves when you went?
Yeah, so basically we went on a very wet Sunday, didn't we? Yeah. So it was raining, and usually when we've gone zoos on rainy days, it's basically the animals stay indoors. And we thought, sorry, we'll go. And then you came up with the idea of saying, we each say how many animals we expect to see in their outdoor enclosure on there. So I think, I came up with 5 to start off with, and you came up with 10. And as we're walking around, then we'd basically be counting the number of animals. But they couldn't be in an enclosure outside, as in their enclosure is outside. They had to have an inside enclosure, but they decided to go outside in the rain.
You were getting into the details of netting at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if they got mesh over the top, does that count as outside, or because it's enclosed?
Yeah.
Is that an inside enclosure?
And none of the aviaries counted, did they?
No. Basically, if it helped me, it counted.
Yeah. If you watch the video, you'll see whichever way the rules could be bent so that it helps Sarah. The rules got bent so they help Sarah.
Well, we did 3 rounds. I won all 3.
Yeah, and if you watch the video, you'll also understand how Sarah managed to win all three. But I mean, at one point though, on the third round, we both came up with a number, and literally we hadn't turned around, because by the time you turn around, there's probably 3 or 4 different animals pretty much standing next to us, all outside. It's like, oh, that's blown my number, hasn't it? On there, but it was good though, wasn't it? Yeah. So we did that, but also we managed to find a really nice coffee shop or a shop.
That's it. Do you want to talk about this this sofa that Sarah saw in there?
Go on.
So it was a really nice coffee shop in the islands part of Chester Zoo. I think it's quite new, isn't it? It wasn't there last time we went. And they've got all this furniture, like the settee there. And it was really, really nice. And I thought, oh, that's a bit unusual to have something that nice in a coffee shop to people to sit on. And then I happened to glance underneath and saw the price tag on it. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And I wonder if I can convince James to let me have that.
How much was it?
It's £1,500.
And people were sitting on it as well.
Yeah,
so
people were sitting.
Oh, all right.
It's £1,500 for a used settee, basically. It's like, so the actual place was like that set that you can see there. It was that's how it's decorated.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
It was
really nice, and the coffee was awesome. On there, it wasn't machine coffee. It was done by a barista. And it was really, really nice. The coffee was.
Yeah. Funnily enough, James did not buy me the
Yeah.
I've watched it, but Stacey's got to watch it because it's got a load of different green, like matcha teas. That's
matcha teas and
it's got those there.
Herbal teas, and
Yes.
I'm a bit bonkers. I have a mermaid tea, so that was from Bird and Blend Tea Company. They've got one in I can't remember now. I would say Whitby, but it's not. They've got one in like sort of seaside town anyway, and then there's another one in Nottingham, and the stuff is just amazing. Like I absolutely am obsessed. But yeah, but the mermaid tea is so good.
I don't drink tea or coffee, so I'm always at a loss when we go. It's like, what cold drinks have they got?
But
you seem like you have a lot of energy though.
Yeah, it's the amount of like caffeine-based soft drinks.
So do you want to have a go at the quiz? We normally at the 40-minute mark in the show we have a quiz, a special one. For everyone watching at home,
we've been watching them and we're rubbish at them, aren't we?
This needs to be exceptionally easy.
This is, I think it will be for you. This is a. I've written Run Alton Towers, but I've used letters from Disney film logos. So you just got to tell me which films they're from.
Oh man, okay.
I think you'll get it. I think you'll do quite well. But the people in the chat can help out as well.
Yeah.
We watched the one
I've
with
got the
Walking
chat
with the Woods and we were dreadful.
So I'll keep looking down a little bit. I'll sit back a bit.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
Oh, the first one.
See, so I recognise the first R, but I don't know.
Is it from Meredith?
Is the dragon one's not Disney, is it?
The dragon one?
Yeah, something to do with dragons.
No. The U is Bug's Life, I would say.
Yeah. The T is Toy Story.
Yeah. The N, the first N is Frozen.
Yeah.
What's the O? That O.
That O.
That O is from
Moana.
No. What's that one?
You're not really giving me any help.
Is it Inside Out?
No.
Oh, can I say anything?
Well, let the chat. If anyone wants to chime in on the chat, they can do.
I'm sure Coaster Hen might know.
Oh, Coaster Hen will know them all, I think. Coaster Hen and Coaster Chicken will know them all.
I kind of know a few, but
the second T is the Frog Prince.
Have a go walking with the woods.
No. The second T is not the Frog Prince.
See.
Hello, Pat Village Vlogs.
Hello.
Oh, Walking with the Woods should get these.
Put it in the comments, guys. It's okay. If you think
anybody that wants to help us, you're more than welcome.
What about the first? Well, there's only one A, isn't there? The A.
The A's.
Is it from Monsters Inc? Monsters University?
No, it's older than that.
Can I say?
It's not Hercules. It's not Cinderella. Yeah, say.
Go on.
Atlantis.
Yes, Atlantis.
Yes. Got that one.
So, Stacey, do you not know the answers? As in, you haven't seen the answers?
Oh yes, sorry. Just to confirm, I do apologise. I don't know any of the answers. Mike puts in all the effort to these quizzes and everything he does.
So technically, you're on our side.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Oh yeah, she doesn't know the answers.
But Mike sometimes says wait for people in the comments. So I'm hoping some more people might actually turn around and say.
We've got all of. I'm going to take R because you said Meredith, but she's in the film.
Walking with the Woods put H for Hercules.
H. Where's the H?
I don't know where the H is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I was just thinking that was H.
No, they've already said the first R. They said Meredith. It was from Brave.
Brave.
Ah, right, yeah.
Now the other R probably from in Towers.
Do you know? Have got any idea what the L is?
I was just looking at that one.
Just for everyone at home, we've got Run and we've got the A and the T from Alton. The rest we have not got.
So Alton Towers.
The O isn't from Inside Out, is it? The first O.
No.
No.
R is not Monsters Inc. Oh.
I thought it was.
I thought people were going to breeze through these because they did last time.
Dory R.
Yeah, it's Dory. It's Finding
Dory.
Which one's Dory?
That one. The R.
The R.
The W's the sword in the stone.
No, but it's an old film.
What
was the? I think it was the first feature-length Disney animation.
Snow White. It's from Snow White.
Yeah, Snow White. Yeah.
See if you give me the clue like that. First animation.
Okay. The clue for the L. I don't know if I can give you a clue without giving it away. It got remade in Lion King.
Oh my god.
It's the
The O. Think Day of the Dead.
Oh, Coco.
Yeah.
Well done.
The N. Think Phil Collins.
Tarzan.
Yes.
See, you say it. I know.
The T is it's quite a more recent film.
Oh.
And they've done some shorts of it on.
Walking with the Woods put is that Pixar short?
No, they're all from proper films.
Okay.
The T is from. I don't have to give you a clue without giving it away.
It's not Tangled, is it? It's the wrong colour.
No, it's from.
You could definitely give me the clue, Mike, without giving it away. I can tell you that.
The O is a very recent film.
Moana.
No.
It's a recent one. Isn't that panda one? What's that panda one called?
Well, I'll give them a clue.
Ooh.
It was Trek and Tails. It was a recent one involving involving jazz.
Oh, Soul.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
T, E, and S.
And the T is from. I don't know how to give you a clue for this without giving it away.
Mermaid.
No. It's was it Shakira did the song for it?
Zootopia.
Yeah, Zootopia.
Yeah.
If anyone wants my karaoke.
So you've got the E and the S left. To give you a clue, they're both relatively live action.
Oh, I don't like live action.
Yeah, but we got that.
The S is very recent on Disney Plus.
Hocus Pocus.
No, more recent than that.
Oh.
Literally like the last couple of weeks, if that.
Disenchanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the E. Can you get the E?
E.
It's also live action.
Yeah.
Old live action or newer live action?
There's been quite a few of them.
Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Cinderella?
No, you think of Adventure on the High Seas.
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
There
guys!
you go.
What did you think at home? Because that actually caught my.
I thought Walking with the Woods was there. I thought he's in the comments. He's
tingling
gonna do it all, but no.
That's
I like that. I think I managed to get one, didn't I?
I think my favourite one was when I gave her the clue for Tarzan and just went Phil Collins and she knew straight away.
Oh yes.
Disney music. I'm there. I'm there with Disney music.
Excellent. That's probably the longest lasting quiz ever, isn't it, on that round? So I think we've done well there.
That itched my head and everything. We're thinking, going, oh, is it that?
You can tell that we're getting close because we're having to kind of get close up to see these with our eyesight. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So do you want to tell us about some of your older trips to Walt Disney World?
Yeah, we started in 1998 for our honeymoon, didn't we?
Yeah, so that's the one on the right hand side with just James on and his Hong Kong Fooey t-shirt.
Yeah, so Sarah said she wanted to go Disney World for a honeymoon, and I wasn't bothered. Just like, okay, we'll go there. I'm not sure why. Then we went, and since then to get back to Disney, to get back to America took us another 3 years, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then we just kind of slammed it in every year or every other year for there.
But what's really interesting to me with that picture of James is if you look behind him and he's in front of the castle, there's hardly any people there. If you compared that with one from our recent trip in September, that would be rammed.
That
and
was September as well,
it's the same
wasn't
time of year that we went. It just, the amount of queues.
Kersley's back. I've not seen Kersley in ages. Oh, I can't wait.
Hi, Kersley. And then the other one is obviously me with our daughter when she was two. And that was in Euro Disney, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is she going to hate you for giving me that photo? Or
She hates us anyway. And she was one of them where when she saw characters, she went absolutely rigid, didn't she?
Yeah.
You know, it was just completely.
In such an awe of them.
Yeah. So excited. She'd just sit and shake and just go, mouse.
Yeah, and then as she grew, got a bit older, not much older, we started putting her on rides, didn't we? And she's an absolute adrenaline junkie now. But the biggest regret I've ever got is we went California in 2003. Yeah, went California, and we put her on a pony, and this pony went nuts, absolutely nuts, and we had our heart as a mouse, didn't we? She was absolutely loving it, and since then, it's just cost us a fortune because of horses. That's the
stuff at Walt Disney World, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 1998 to now, and it's just become home, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah. So I mean, you got Top of the World there, which is the.
Did you want to explain because you're in the I can't remember the name of it now, the club? Did you want to explain that?
Disney Vacation Club, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a timeshare basically. So because we were going so often, we looked into the timeshare, the DVC things, and for us it made financial sense at the time, and we bought in 2008 just before the economy tanked. And it was a time when at that point it was $2 to a pound.
Over $2 to a pound. Yeah.
So it made financial sense at that point to buy in.
You know, like that Chester Zoo picture where you had that £1,500 settee. This is one of those moments where Sarah went, "Why don't you do this?" And it's like, do we have to? And then obviously we ended up signing up and came away with it.
Yeah. So it's a timeshare, but it's not a traditional timeshare. So we can use it at any time. You buy points instead of a week, and you can use it at any time of the year at any of the deluxe resorts, as long as you've got enough points. And normally it's enough for us to go. We could go once a year in a studio for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it enables us to stay in the deluxe resorts and the nicer resorts that we would never be able to afford to stay in.
Yeah.
Normally.
So this year we used the points and we stayed at 4 different Disney Vacation resorts.
Yeah, because we haven't been able to go because of COVID, so we've got lots of points. So if you don't spend them in a year, you can save them up.
Yeah.
But we've done Grand Floridian, we did Riviera, Key West. Where else did we do this time?
Beach Club.
We've done it before where just the 3 of us. We've done the Treehouse Villas. I mean, they were just incredible, weren't they? The Treehouse Villas. Yeah. We've done I'm about to say Pocahontas then, which is
Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness Lodge. Yeah. So for us, it's given us the ability to go to lots of different places within Disney itself. And you can use it to book cruises. You can use it to book their hotels, so you can stay at like the hotel versions of DVC. But the usage, how many points it costs you per night, really jumps up then, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you don't have to use it at Disney. You can use it. So they have a partner that they partner with that deals with timeshares around the world, and you can use it to go anywhere in the world. So
we've got this for like 50 years, and now we've finally paid for it. We've got roughly 35 years in theory of free Disney accommodation, but you still have to pay a service charge every year. And for us, for our points, That's roughly $1,500 a year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not free. You have to pay every year to, for upkeep of the buildings. And our home resort, so the one in theory that we have the most access to, is Saratoga Springs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which just happens to be, it's actually really good, isn't it? It's massive. And we were put off going a few times just because of people saying, oh, it's too big. But in the end we went, and we really like it, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, and it means I can say I own a little bit of Disney, which makes me happy. So no, the top of the World Lounge is on top of the Contemporary Resort, and in their DVC building, which is Bay Lake Tower, and it's a members only bar, and it used to be free to get into, so all DVC members could go up there, and it's lovely up there because it's on the 16th floor. It's really, really high. It's just a really nice bar. It isn't very big, it's not noisy, and then you can go outside and they pipe in the music, and you can stand outside and watch the fireworks. It's not crowded up there, so you're not jostling about on Main Street watching the fireworks. It's just a really, really nice little perk to being a member.
Yes, so that's what that one was from.
Oh wow, that's so cool. I'm like,
so
can we get one?
So is this a different membership to?
Yes, I'm collecting memberships now. The next one I would like after this one, if anybody's watching and they have any pull with Club 33, can you please get me Club 33? So D23 is the Disney fan club, effectively. You've probably seen lots of things in September when they had the annual event in Anaheim. It's when they announce all the new things and they show off and do lots of things like that. And you can go if you're a member, and they do lots of different events and things. Most of them are based in America and in California particularly. But the one thing I wanted D23 for was because I really want to go to the Walt Disney Archives. I really want to go to Disney's animation studios, and I want to go and look around the archives, and I want to go into Walt's office. And obviously they limit that severely to very few people. But they do days where D23 members can go and do it. So I'm hoping that they'll do one again and I can get on that one. That would be...
Oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps thinking about that, because I love that sort of thing.
Yeah, and Walt's office from the pictures I've seen is exactly as it was the day he died. So
wow.
It would be like stepping back in time, and I would just love to do that.
Yeah.
So these are the things you got with the D23 membership. So it's an annual membership. I think it was $99.
Yeah.
And you get a free gift every year. And this was the free gift, which I don't think actually for $99 is a bad thing, because you got, how many pins is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 there, plus an additional pin. So that's 8 pins for $100, which is about what, 88 quid?
Wow.
So what, $10 a pin? That's really cheap.
And you got some other stuff with that as well, didn't you?
Yeah. And they're exclusive D23 pins. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And you get a quarterly magazine, which I haven't had one yet because I've only just recently joined. But the quarterly magazines I've seen on eBay, they're $25, $30. So it's all an investment.
It'll be worth it just to see his office.
I just know there'll probably be some pin badge collectors watching this going, oh, how can I get those pin?
Yeah, absolutely. $99 it will cost you. And you get a luggage tag as well.
Well, I think Sarah's hoping, because next year...
the gift changes every year, so I don't know what it'll be next year. So if you want the pins, get them now. And there is actually a Black Friday sale on as well for D23, just, you know.
Okay. So next year, we're going back to USA for 9 days, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's our 25th wedding anniversary next September. But what we're going to do is we're going to go Florida for the first few days, because we want to be in Magic Kingdom on our wedding anniversary, which is obviously that very first picture. And then we're flying over to California for the other few days. And I think Sarah's desperately hoping she can get into Walt's office then, even if she has to break in.
Is there a waiting list you have to sign up to?
No, they just when they announce this, it's just who can fastest fingers on the keyboard, who can book in. So the one thing I am going to do when we go to Disneyland is they do a Walt's office tour. So his office not his animation studio's office, but his he had a little apartment in Disneyland above the fire station where him and his family used to stay when they were in the park. And you can go in there and have a little nosy around there. So I'm definitely going to do that one.
Yeah. I just tag along. I just get told what to do.
Did you want to briefly talk about your, it was a very recent blog you did?
Yeah, so we went up to Blackpool on Saturday, didn't we?
Yep.
Saturday night. Sarah spotted doing this Christmas by the sea. And as a kid and whatever, my family holidays were kind of like five days in Blackpool. So to me, Blackpool was virtually like a second home. But anyway, we went up and they're doing this Christmas by the sea, aren't they? Where they've got a small part of the prom and they've kind of they've obviously got a Christmas market. Incredibly enough, they've got some fairground rides. Obviously, they've only got Blackpool Pleasure Beach just down the road.
Yeah, but that's shut soon.
Yeah,
that's shut soon.
And they're playing Christmas music, aren't they? It's basically in front of the tower, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was really, really nice. And we did a tram ride as well, didn't we? Which was decorated with Christmas.
Yeah, because that was decked out on the inside.
Yeah. So that was £6 each, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For about half an hour, you went from basically North Pier up to Brisbane and then came back. And it was really nice, wasn't it? Yeah. It was a good atmosphere as well. You know, if you can get up there because it was a nice atmosphere. It was family friendly, and there wasn't really, you know, with Blackpool, you get lots of stag and hen do's, don't you? But they weren't there. Even though it was a Saturday night, they weren't around this area, were they?
No. And everything apart from the tram tour was free. So they got like a little skating rink, and the skating rink and the skate hire was free. It's tiny. It's a very tiny ice rink, but
and you don't pay to get to the Christmas by the sea, do you?
No.
You don't. It's just there.
And it snowed.
the snow was awesome because obviously they got 2 snow cannons, which are great. But unfortunately, the wind was blowing the wrong way, so the snow was not actually coming onto the prom. It was just going straight onto the beach,
straight into the sea. But yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. So it's definitely, you know, one to go up if you can get up there.
But starting to wind down, did you want to just show everyone your are they Minnie Mouse ears, I guess?
Look, the battery's gone.
It's gone now.
Mine are shining bright. I thought yours was charged for.
You buy official Disney products, this is what you get.
I'll turn mine off so I don't outglow you here.
Yeah, outshining my ears.
So rather than your ears, we do have obviously the magic bands and whatever. So when you go, you get your magic band. And
oh yeah,
you've got a video of that on your channel as well. Where you've talked about the new ones.
The video, but these are just some of the magic bands that we've collected over the years of going. So the ones just here, where are we? The ones just here that. The most recent ones, the 50th anniversary ones and the Orange Bird. But these, where are they? The very original ones. These are the very original ones when they first came out. So we've got quite a few of these and whatever. Well, these are quite deep.
Do they like interact with the fireworks as well?
The two over here, these two do. They light up and they vibrate, which is good. But it's kind of like, am I going to watch your fireworks or watch this? But the other thing is, they also vibrate when you go past like some of those 50th gold statues. And they also vibrate for apparently no other reason because you don't know what's going on.
Oh, they just go off.
Yeah, so it's a shame that they don't really kind of interact with the app and kind of say, this is why I've just vibrated. And then because you kind of thinking what you're going off for, but they are good because obviously all the magic bands get you into the parks, get you into the hotels, get your photo passes, etc. But we do find, I was doing it as well. If you've got your iWatch or your Fitbit and whatever, you kind of bring you one and it's the other, or you're looking at one of what time it is on there.
I can see the potential for them. I think they've got a lot of potential for the future, but it's just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got, obviously, I think quite a few people had.
I wish we had magic bands in Paris as well, walking with the wolves.
Yes. And perhaps it will one day.
Yeah, I really hope they do.
Yeah. So Sarah's ears have run out of battery.
Yeah, we'll have to. You'll have to post a video on your channel of them.
You'll have to look on their Instagram, because there is a picture with them like lit up as well.
Yeah.
So it looks lovely.
I'll put link for your channel in the description and about 3 or 4 of your vlogs that we've talked about. So everyone's got to go over there and subscribe, because
Please.
Yeah.
Please. And we've got lots more Florida ones still to upload.
Yeah.
is there anything else you want to say to the people watching before we?
Well, obviously, you know, as you know, we're quite a young channel, so if you can share us and let people know, we'd always be most grateful, so that we can try and build the base up, which would be brilliant. We're back at Alton Towers on this Saturday doing Lightopia and the Christmas market on there, so we're going to kind of obviously do that, and then we'll get that out as soon as we can as well. And from both of us, thank you so much for having us, and
That's been good,
everybody for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Please keep liking and subscribing, everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think there is a couple more questions probably at the end. So if anyone's got any questions in the comments, just show them up now.
Yeah.
So Walking with the Woods.
No, we didn't.
There you go.
No.
I was like, oh, I've just seen them pop up on my phone. That's what I was looking at, because
That would have been
get
good,
the comments quicker. So
Yeah.
Hold off.
Yeah, no, we didn't get those.
It wasn't a Disney one, but we went to SeaWorld's Howler Scream, and you could buy the necklaces so the actors didn't come to you. And my daughter got one, and it's got cats on, and they light up, which is great. And the actors don't scare you; they then take the mick out of you. So as she was walking, they were actually being attracted to it, but not to be scared. To kind of then interact. There were lots of them were meowing at her, or kind of, you know, just starting to call her a scaredy cat. What's the favourite Disney resort to stay at?
It's difficult because it's like picking your favourite child.
I mean, for me, not a DVC one. I mean, that's why we've only got one kid, so we never had that problem.
Don't have that problem.
It's not a DVC. I absolutely love Port Orleans on there.
Yeah.
I think Port Orleans, but a DVC, Old Key West and Saratoga Springs, we always go back to because they're roomy. But there's just something about them, isn't there?
Yeah.
I can tell you our worst resort.
Oh, I can tell you that one as well.
Riviera. Absolutely.
Yeah. Why's that?
Just didn't take to it. It doesn't. When you come up to it, it doesn't look as Disney as others on there. When you get closer, it's better. But it's just didn't take to it. Some resorts you don't take to because is it Colorado Springs or something? Coronado Springs. We haven't been there for ages. But I used to have to go there to do some work, and that was just so business. And it wasn't just because I was in the business centre. They got a conference, but Riviera just didn't like it, did we?
No.
On there, don't know why. Just one of those things.
No.
But Port Orleans, I really like, especially with Yeehaw Bob.
Also,
yeah. Anything on the monorail, anything on the monorail loop is nice. I could go on for hours. I won't. I'll just...
Oh no, keep going. I'm just thinking, like, if anyone else got any more questions, just have a go. Like,
I could just bore you all with Disney for hours.
See, I'd just love to go one day. Can we go now, please?
What, at this moment?
Let's go. I've got the ears.
Have you been to Disneyland Paris, Stacey?
Never. I've never. It sounds horrible, but
I've been.
I've never been abroad for holiday.
Oh. Do you know what? I never went till I was 21, although I am a lot older than everybody else. Yeah, so
I'm a bit older than 21, but yeah. But yeah.
You just taken that as a compliment and just said, "Oh."
Thank you very much. But mentally, I'm 19. But
did you want to do the catchphrase before we go?
Yeah, but yeah, we'll probably discuss more about it later. Anyway, so we'll see you
in the review.
Because for now,
we're gone.